if some more come over while we're chatting, then you guys are going to get those too. So you have to be on the session. I'm going to hand these out to random individuals. There's no set, no one's picked out yet. So so as long as you're here when we hand them out, then you stand a chance of getting some of these leads. You're going to get name, email, phone number, and 8 fields of data that I've collected during that lead generation process. So I'm going to go to the leads and show you what we've captured here very, very shortly. But as we get started, I see a lot of answers coming over. We got a lot of you guys on today's call. And let's see, I see a lot of you guys saying that you're getting a slow start for 2014, that you're just now starting your strategy. Let's see here. Okay, some of you guys are looking into mailers, some of you looking at web marketing, some of you looking at SEO. So it looks like this is just now kind of serving as your jump start, which that's all fine and good as long as you take action on what you learned. Today's session is an interactive session. If you have any questions, please, by all means, guys, do ask. Now, I have to tell you, I can't guarantee I'll get to your question. I'll get to as many of them as humanly possible. You know how I work. I like to answer questions. I love the two-way discussion, but usually we end up with anywhere from 600 to up to 1,000 questions asked over the next 60 minutes. So I will do my best, but no guarantees that I'll get to your question, but that should not stop you from asking. All right, and then final, before we get started, you guys know the drill as well. If I'm hitting on something that you really, really like, you know I like my booms. In other words, type B-O-O-M. Give me a big, loud boom in that chat box if you like the direction that we're going. If you feel that I just gave you something that's beneficial and can really genuinely help your business, I'm monitoring the chat box every couple of minutes. And when I see a lot of booms, that lets me know, hey, they like this. Let me give you more of this, because as you know, these are not scripted sessions. I like to talk. I'm passionate about marketing. I want to pass that passion on to you, but that feedback from you lets me know, hey, let's give these guys more of the same. All right, so your feedback will help direct the direction that we go in with today's session. With that being said, let's get started, guys. So once again, welcome to 2014. Today's session, here's what we're going to learn. We're going to learn a method of lead generation that delivers results quickly, even if you're 100% new at what we call internet marketing. Okay, so we are going to be using the web. We are going to be generating leads with advertisements. But as you know, that can get to be very, very intimidating very quickly. But the method that I'm going to show you here today is one of the simplest that you could possibly learn. So this is great for beginners as long as you pay attention to and implement exactly as I present it. Number 2, we're going to learn how to capture leads, then turn around and leverage those leads into even more leads. All right, now how often does that happen where you generate one lead and that one lead turns into 2 and those 2 leads turn into 3 and so forth? Does anybody want to care to take a guess at the third thing that we're going to learn today? Absolutely nothing. That's it. Focus is critical, guys. We got about an hour. Okay, there's only so much I could teach in an hour, but I'm going to do my best to pack this full of as much information as possible, but you have to focus. Okay, so we're going to focus and we're going to talk about what you can expect from 2014 here, guys. So here's what to expect going forward. Now, this is pulled from the National Association of Realtors. 4.9 million existing homes were sold, estimated, in 2013. And roughly 440,000 new construction homes were sold. Now, they're predicting, based on these numbers and current rate of growth, NAR, and now you may find differing predictions. Everybody's got their own predictions and estimates and so forth, but NAR is predicting 5.1 million existing homes sold in 2014. So you combine that with, if they keep pace with new construction homes, you combine the two, and you're at over 5.5 million homes sold between now and the end of the year. So guys, when we do the math, that's over 16,000 homes sold per day if we just string that out there. So in other words, there is a lot of business out there, folks, even in the worst of times, even when you're hearing all this negative news. Even for 2013, I can't tell you how many times I heard people say, oh, nobody's closing. Well, statistically speaking, that's not accurate. Over 4.9 million existing homes were sold, plus another 440,000 new construction homes were sold. Lots of business out there. How much of that do you need to make a difference in your income? Well, the challenge here is that a lot of loan officers, they hit the ground running in the new year with all these expectations and, hey, I'm going to do this year, I'm going to do this and that this year, and so forth and so forth and so forth, and it all sounds great on paper. But here's the problem. When they move forward, there's very little, if any, focus. There's little to no planning. When I say planning, I don't mean, hey, what's your plan? Well, I got it all in my head. The human brain is quite simply one of the least reliable long-term storage mediums in the world. Okay? Even a floppy is better for storage. Okay? It's great on the short term, but long term, our brains fail us again and again and again. So in other words, if you aren't putting it on paper, then how serious is the plan? Okay, loss of commitment when growth is slow. If any of these sound like you guys, just type me in the chat box. I know some of these have described me in the past years. Unclear objectives of marketing. You know you want more leads. You know you want more business. But I'm kind of unclear on what I need to do specifically to make that happen. I mean, I got a general idea, but I don't know what comes next. How do I put one foot in front of the other? Okay, I hear that one a lot. Or no true sales funnel. Now, if I were to ask you, hey, I want you to write out exactly how your leads travel through your sales funnel. And if you need more than a couple minutes to think about it, then chances are you don't actually have a sales funnel. They're just kind of sifting in, and the ones that stick, and the ones that don't. Problem is that's a great way to lose out on about 40 to 50% of your potential business. Okay, so no true sales funnel. Few referrals, if any, and no set plan to get more. And then finally, here's the one I hear more often than any other is technology is confusing. There's so much. You have SEO and SEM, which is search engine optimization, plus search engine marketing. What's the difference between the two? You have blogging, you have article marketing, you have RSS feeds. That's just getting started. You have CPC, CPV, CPM. Right? Cost per click, paid to display ads. You have retargeting. You have email autoresponders, and so forth, and so forth, and so forth. So if you're finding technology to be confusing, this could also be what's causing slow growth and unpredictable growth. We want predictable growth. So knowing that these are the things that typically go wrong for most loan officers, then we need something that's going to address as many of these issues as is humanly possible. Okay. So yeah, here we go. Here's a comment that just came over. I have so many great ideas, but I haven't started yet. Okay, so many great ideas out there. But here's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be using the Facebook ads platform. Now, when I say Facebook ads platform, guys, I'm not talking about Facebook from a traditional social media posting perspective. There's a lot of people out there that are teaching, you know, posting and getting likes, and I've even run courses on how to get likes and all that great stuff, and that is indeed a great way to generate business, but over the long term. That is a growth strategy, not a fast, I need leads now strategy. How many of you guys need leads right now? How many of you guys would complain if you got a lead tomorrow? Or you started a brand new strategy today and you had a lead in your pipeline by Friday? How many of you guys have experienced that before? A brand new marketing strategy that delivers leads the next day or within the first 48 to 72 hours. How rare is that? I'm not seeing too many yeahs that I've experienced that. Yes, it's very, very rare. That's what we're going to be showing you how to do today, and that's what Facebook is all about when we talk about the advertising platforms. Here are the virtues of the advertising platform, is you can get a new campaign set up in a single day, just one day. Once you get a campaign set up, it's generally approved within a matter of hours by Facebook. Once the campaign is approved, guys, guess what that means? You're live. People are seeing you. People that you have designated and selected and said, hey, you know what? I really would like to generate leads specifically in St. Charles County today. Okay, that's what I need. With Facebook, you can do it. And the difference between this and the Google Ads platform is, well, has any of you guys ever run any Google AdWords campaigns? What is the cost of running a Google AdWords campaign in the mortgage industry? Well, I'll give you guys a hint. On a list that I saw in the middle of 2013 for the top 10 highest, most costly lead generation campaigns based on industries, mortgages was in the top 10 with an average cost per click of over $7. $7 for a single person, not for a lead, but for a single person to click and go to your website. There's $7. So what happens if somebody double clicks or let's say your competitors start clicking on your ads? Well, your competitors are costing you money now. And at $7 a click, that gets costly very quickly. Facebook, by comparison, well, based on my numbers, is roughly 1/20th the cost to run similar campaigns. So Google AdWords is wonderful if you have an ultra-high conversion rate and a huge budget. Whereas Facebook, well, we started teaching this specifically because the average loan officer can actually afford to self-generate leads now. So how does the process work? Enough jabbering. There are several components that make this process work. And here's what I want you guys to do. Remember, we said lack of focus is the big problem for most loan officers. Well, I want to remove lack of focus from the table and help give you focus. And here's how I like to attack my marketing is I like to put them into components, okay, or chunks or puzzle pieces or whatever you want to call it. And whenever I'm setting up a new marketing campaign, I look at it from this perspective of, number one, what and who is my target? So if you guys are taking notes, go ahead and write that down now. What and who is your target? I don't want to hear any answers of, oh, anybody that needs a loan. Come on, guys, you know better than that. That's not an answer. Anybody that needs a loan is so intentionally vague, it literally leads us to nowhere. We need to zero in on and laser focus on exactly who your target is. So we can get specific, such as, well, you know what, I noticed last year I was doing a lot of USDA loans. Or maybe I'm near a military base and I do a lot of VA loans. Or maybe you did a whole lot of FHA. Do you specialize in helping folks with less than perfect credit get into a home? Low down payment, is that possibly a target of yours? Let's get creative here, guys. Go ahead and start throwing out some ideas in the chat box. Go ahead, join in the fun. Who is your target? Once we know what types of loans we want to target, then we need to target based off of geography. Can you afford to target the entire United States? That's very costly. Heck, even targeting by an entire state is still too vague. I want you guys to write down on a piece of paper who is your target and where do they live, and I want you to get very specific. Not just the state, but the actual city. Or maybe you have a series of cities that you would like to target. Go ahead and put that down now. You need to focus, and this is what helps us focus. So we have the loan type. We have the city where they reside. What else? What else? What else? Is there a certain age bracket? What age are these folks? Are they male or are they female? Let's get focused, folks. So once we narrow down who it is we're targeting, then we need to figure out what are we going to offer these folks. Okay, and don't worry, we're going to be doing this live here very, very shortly. But right now, I just want you guys to go through the process on paper so you have a better understanding of what we're going to be doing. Your offer. What is your offer? What do you bring to the table for these folks? Why should somebody talk to you? See, I talk to a lot of folks that say, hey, you know what, I've tried SEO, or I've tried running ads, I've tried this, I've tried that, but nobody would give me their information. I didn't capture any leads out of that. But oftentimes, when we whip out our microscope and we start looking at the facts, when we look at where they were sending those leads to, or prospects to, they're not leads yet, but they're prospects, that traffic, they're usually sending them to a home page of a website. Now, what is the home page of a website, guys, other than an online brochure, right? There's nothing specific about it. It just presents who you are and what your services are. But there's nothing focused. There's nothing targeted saying, hey, you know what, sir or ma'am, here's how I can help you. here's why you should give me your email address right now. You need an offer, and we're going to talk about offers here in just a moment. Those offers are generally made over what we call a landing page or squeeze page. A landing page or a squeeze page is simply a specific page on your website that focuses on one particular offer so that your prospects don't get distracted or don't get frustrated because they can't find the information they're seeking. A landing page is one of the most powerful tools and components in your arsenal. Then finally, we need to create an ad, and then we need to outline our sales funnel. So these are the components that are going to serve you as we go through this process of lead generation. Now, with a Facebook advertising campaign, folks, there's another big piece of the puzzle that I want every single one of you guys to have, and that is you need to have a Facebook page. In order to run the types of ads that we're going to be demonstrating here today, you got to have a Facebook page. And by Facebook page, I don't mean a personal profile. I mean an actual Facebook fan page. Now, is there anybody here today that does not have a Facebook page? Anybody? 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 Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of yeses coming over. So because of that, see, here's where your feedback comes into play. I'm not going to go through the entire process of building one here today. That's not the purpose of today's call, but I'm going to show you where you can go to build one. So if you bear with me here just a moment, I'm going to go to Google here. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I want you to do. I want you to just go to Google and just type out Facebook fan page. Okay, and you're going to see the first actual link, because the two above it, these are ads, these are paid ads. This actual link right here, facebook.com/pages/create. That's where you click. And that's actually going to bring you to the very starting point of the process of creating and setting up a Facebook fan page. Now, here's the beautiful thing about this, guys, is it's so easy. You can have your Facebook fan page created in about 5 to 7 minutes. Now, if you want to make it look really good, I recommend you spend a little more time on it than that. But it's so simple because Facebook, well, they walk you through it. Okay, it's basically just answering a couple questions, and then Facebook shows you and has little question marks and shows you on any of the features that you're unclear on. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a couple of Facebook fan pages here in the meantime. So give me just a second here. I am going to open up and go back to my main page. And let's open up some Facebook pages here. Okay. Opening them up, and opening them up. Okay, here we are. So this is my Facebook fan page. This is generally, I'm sure you guys have already seen what a Facebook fan page looks like. This is my Facebook fan page. And essentially, guys, all you're doing is you're creating a business page. And what I want you to do is, as you create your Facebook page, here's what I want you to do. I want you to keep in mind that the whole reason why you need a Facebook fan page is because this is how you launch the types of ads. Okay, if you run just a traditional Facebook ad, you're not going to get the same results. You need to run an ad off of your Facebook fan page. So let me give you some guidelines. Think about your offer. Think about it. Who are you going to appeal to here, folks? We're probably going to appeal to folks that are looking to buy or sell a home, right? Have you thought about that? See, coming out onto Facebook and just blatantly targeting folks, hey, look, refinance today, it's a great time to refinance, that's not going to cut it. Okay, that is way too in-your-face salesy. That does not work on Facebook. So instead, what we want to do, because we want to generate not just any lead, but purchase leads, we need to appeal to the individuals who are soon going to be in the market, because we don't want to market to folks who already have loan officers. We don't want to market to the folks who already have realtors. We want people who are early in the process so that you now have a lead that can be used on two different levels. A, to fit into your pipeline and get a loan out of it, and B, so you can turn around, leverage that lead, share it with realtors, and boom, there you have it. Now you have a very powerful tool and means of approaching realtors saying, hey, I have so many leads, I can't handle them all. Would you mind working some of these leads with me, Mr. and Mrs. High-producing real estate agent? And who's going to say no to that? Right? That's what I want for you guys. And the way to get this, guys, is to specifically go after folks who are about to be in the market. So this part of the question comes to you guys. What are some of the signals that somebody gives when they're about to be in the market? What are some of the actions that they take? Okay, this is what focus is all about here, folks, is asking these types of questions and answering them very specifically. Okay, looking at their credit report, looking for movers. Okay, let's see, leases expiring, looking at homes online, searching the MLS. There you go, there you go. Checking their house. There we go, boom. Checking for house values. Bingo, Colin got it. Checking their house value. That is a huge indicator, guys. That's a giant signal flare being blasted off in the sky saying, hey, I'm checking into my house value because I'm dipping my toe in the water. So when you set up your Facebook fan page, keep in mind that when you run your ads, the name of your Facebook page is always going to show even above your advertisement. So putting something like St. Louis mortgage loans and then running an ad for individuals who are looking to check their house value isn't going to work. There's a disconnect there, not to mention the first thing I think when I look at an ad and I see St. Louis mortgage loans, well, all I'm trying to do is check the value of my house. Well, this is probably a loan officer going to call me. Probably going to ask me to fill out all the scary paperwork and stuff. I'm not doing that. You see what I'm getting at here, guys? Name your Facebook pages something non-threatening. You can name it whatever you want. I showed you the Facebook page, right? The Facebook setup page. So you'll see here that I have, for example, I love San Antonio, California home buyers and sellers help, North Carolina sellers help, help for home buyers and sellers, and so forth and so forth. So name your pages something non-threatening. Name it something helpful. That's a big one right there. Write it down, guys. That right there can impact your results by 40 to 50% or more. Which would you rather do? Spend 50% more on your advertising or spend 50% less? Name it something non-threatening. Something helpful. And something city or at the bare minimum state specific. If you're going to have to originate in multiple cities throughout the state that are not nearby, then in that case you might want to go with the state name. But if you can laser target on a specific city, if you're in a big enough area, then just go ahead and give it a city name. Okay, makes sense? Any questions on that before I move on? Okay, now I see some others. Perfect. I see some other great suggestions here. Checking to see how much home they can afford. There's another big one right there. That is a big ad that you can run. How much home can you really afford? If I'm looking that up, really? We don't need any more signals than that. That tells you right there that they're about to be in the market. So there's a whole bunch of other ones, misconceptions and myths, how to save tens of thousands on your new home. We can run ads of all different natures, but I'm going to stick with the first two here that are really, really big ones. So we set up our Facebook page, guys, and here are the rules. Okay, so I just gave you the first rule on naming your page, but here are some other big ones. Your Facebook fan page absolutely must communicate and make it clear what the page is about, and it must be non-threatening. Number two, you must offer usable information and advice, not pitches on the page. See, what happens is when somebody clicks on a Facebook ad, they're going to see your ad, but they're going to see your ad on your Facebook fan page. They're going to leave wherever they were at on Facebook and go straight to your Facebook page, and then they're going to see the ad framed by your Facebook page. In other words, what I'm saying to you guys is if you throw a whole bunch of other salesy messages and whatnot on that particular page, you're going to scare them away. Because people scan, don't they? We might not read every word on the page, but if I just start scanning to some other posts on the page and I see, oh, interest rates are at blah, blah, blah today. Go, click here now to fill out a 1003, blah, 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 or a fast app. That's going to scare me away. I'm going to go, oh, heck no. Goodbye. And I click out and I leave. So no sales pitches on this page. Set up this page specifically for running your ads and giving free, helpful, and usable advice on the very topic that the page is about. So if my page is named St. Louis Home Buyers and Sellers Help or Free Help for St. Louis Home Buyers, then what I want to do is make 4 or 5 posts on that page surrounding my ad that give good, helpful and usable tips with absolutely no whiff of a sales pitch whatsoever. Don't give them any reason to leave. Okay, makes sense? That's a huge mistake a lot of people make, and then they wonder why their ads aren't working. It's because they're surrounding them with ads. So we want to minimize distractions as well. On this particular page, usually when people talk about social media marketing, we talk about posting funny and shareable imagery and all this sorts of things and funny videos and things, and that might work with that particular strategy, but when it comes to our ads, not so much. Let's minimize those distractions because I want them on that page for one reason and one reason only. I want to collect their name, email, phone number, and a reason to call them. And if I distract them with funny pictures and shareable viral images and videos, then I might have just gotten distracted them to click on a YouTube video. Next thing you know, they spend the next 40 minutes on YouTube watching funny videos instead of giving me their information. So these are the 3 rules that I want you to abide by when setting up your Facebook page. Okay, makes sense, guys? All right, now I'm going to send you guys. Don't worry, guys. I will indeed send you the link to the Facebook page for creating a Facebook page. Don't be intimidated at all. It's one of the easiest things you'll ever do. It's not hard at all. I've done about 7 other webinars in the past on that very topic. You could probably even find them online. Some of my trainings on how to set up a Facebook page fast using free software, by the way. Okay. All right, perfect. Now let's talk about your offer. Give me just a moment here, folks. Give me just a moment. All right, so what we're going to talk about now is the Facebook ad itself. I'm going to go live to the web, and I'm going to show you guys some Facebook ads here in just a moment, and we're actually going to go through that process with you. But I want to talk about the offer and how you set up that Facebook page or that Facebook ad on your Facebook page. And what we need to do, guys, is here are your absolute must-happens when it comes to your Facebook ads or your offer in this case. That is, number 1, you absolutely must address a need, a want, or pain. We could do this through questions or addressing common concerns, common misconceptions and misinformation, 5 myths about mortgage loans that cost new buyers thousands of dollars. Or why everything you heard about big down payments on a new home loan or a new home are absolutely wrong. And how to get into a home for less than 5% down, or whatever it is you want to advertise to your folks. But again, just keep in mind that it must address a need, a want, or pain. So look at your page that your offer that you're going to make to these folks. And if it does not do at least one of these 3, then it's probably not going to go very far. And you're going to end up very disappointed and wasting money. So make sure you're addressing these. Next, you need to identify common actions that signify interest. We just talked about that. Individuals who are checking their house value, checking how much home they qualify for, reading up on misconceptions and myths and e-books and e-guides, looking up information, interest rates. We look for these actions and activities, and we can identify them on Facebook through our demographics and by the types of ad copy that we put in our ads. Next, you must provide a clear benefit for taking action, not just sometime, but right now. See, if you give folks time to think it over and come back and, oh, hey, we'll be here tomorrow, we'll be here next week, we'll be here next month, then guess what happens? Well, oh, it's not that urgent. I'll just come back in a couple months when it's closer after I found my home. Well, that's not what we want because they've forgotten about you by then. So there must be a sense of urgency for them taking action right now. And then finally, provide a benefit in your ad that they're not getting from their competition's page. All right? Now, this means being unique, right? We need some differentiation. So I'm not saying that, hey, you know what, you must be the only person in the entire country offering this. That's obviously not what we're saying here. But have you guys looked at most mortgage websites? Have you? Have you seen what they're offering? Most of them are not offering anything unique. Most of them are not giving you a reason to take action. And as much as I would like to just go over to Google and start looking up loan officer websites and giving you guys examples. I don't want to there's a lot of you guys on this line, and I don't want to accidentally offend anybody if I happen to open your website. But we got to be honest here. Most mortgage websites do not offer anything unique. In other words, if I say, oh, I can get a quote, well, that's great, but I can get that at 50,000 other mortgage websites. There's nothing unique about that, is there? So we need to address these. So what we're going to do here, folks, is let's go ahead and let's give you a live example. Let's go ahead and set up a Facebook ad. All right, so the way that we do that now is I head on over to my actual Facebook, and I click on the ads button, and I click to create an ad. Okay, so that's all I did, guys, was I clicked on the Facebook ads link, and then I clicked on the green button, which is right back here, up here where it says create an ad. I'm going to click on page post engagement. Now the reason why I'm doing this is so that I can run my ads on my Facebook page. So as you can see here, what it's doing is it's saying, okay, Chad, I see you want to set up an ad and you want to connect that ad to your loan officer project Facebook page. I've also noticed that your most recent post on that page is titled, I'm hearing a lot of talk about motivation for the new year. Is this the ad that you wish to run? And I say, why, yes, indeed it is. So now what I do is I click, and Facebook's going to give me a little preview and show me what my ad is going to look like here. Okay, and I'm going, that is not the way I want my ad to look. I want my ad to have a great looking image because I want it to stand out. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to my Facebook page, and I'm going to make a brand new post. And I'm going to make a post with the intent of turning that post into an advertisement. So I go back to my Facebook page right over here. This is my Facebook fan page. And I'm going to type out a link. It's always the very first thing I type in my ad. Next, I'm going to type out my ad copy itself. Now, I type my link first because I want that to be the first thing that people see to click on when they see my advertisement. But now I need some ad copy. So let's switch into mortgage and real estate mode here. Find out the exact amount your home is worth free. Quick, comma, easy, comma, and absolutely nothing to buy. Find out now by clicking here. And then boom, I put my link a second time. I'm just using my own link just because, well, that's my website. Now you could see that what Facebook did was Facebook actually followed the link. When I typed out the link to my website, Facebook followed it and said, hey, Chad, you got this image on your website. Would you like us to show this image? And I go, well, let me scroll through all the images it pulled off my website. I don't want any of those. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to upload a new image. Anybody care to take a wild stab at what kind of an image I should be posting here if I'm trying to appeal to folks who are about to sell their home? What type of image should I be posting here? Boom, first one, a house. There you go. Second one, a house. Third one, a house. Look at all these smart people. Houses. Exactly. Houses. That's it. Let's just post a picture of a beautiful home. Or we can find pictures of a beautiful home, maybe with a family in front of it, right? Let me show you guys one of my favorite images. I've used this image a lot. Okay, check this out. Let me download it. I got it right here. Boom, boom, boom. It's downloading. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's downloaded. Let me open it now. Here it is right here. I love this image. I use this image all the time. Look at this. Doesn't this evoke some emotion? We got what's obviously a very nice house in the background, and we have a couple with their arms around each other gazing at their new home. Isn't that powerful imagery? This is the sort of thing that we need to do, guys, is we need to learn how to get inside our prospects' heads. There is no one skill more powerful than knowing how to exert influence, knowing how to identify imagery and text and ad copy that will motivate people. And this is an image that motivates me, and I figure, well, if it motivates me, I bet you it probably motivates a lot of other people. But I can't say for certain, so I'm going to put it to the test. Well, I did put it to the test, and it worked. And it worked again, and it worked again, and it worked again. I've used this in over 17 ads in the past 5 months. I've generated over 4,700 clicks in just a matter of months using this image as the basis for my ad. So what I want to say is, guys, don't use illegal imagery. I bought this one. I bought the rights to use this one. Okay, so using, I've seen this happening more and more often, individuals not just getting cease and desist orders, but actually just heard from another individual the other day, got sent a bill from Getty Images for $842. He was using an image that he just pulled off of Google Images, and he started including it in his ads. Well, oftentimes what these image companies do now is they insert tracking pixels into the images that they sell. Or they just do keyword searches, and they scroll through Google Images and see who's using them and see who's using those images on their websites. And then when they see that you don't have a license to be using it, well, guess what happens? You get sent a bill as well as a cease and desist from their attorney. Sometimes they let it slide if you pull the image down, but many times they're saying, hey, you know what? You've been using it, and damages to us is X amount of dollars. And they send you a bill and expect you to either pay it or fight them in court. That's a big hassle you don't want or need. So let's just go and spend our $1.50 and buy a beautiful picture from 123rf.com or iStockPhoto.com. Any of these places, you can go and do a search for home or house or real estate, and you can find equally beautiful imagery, all right, to use in your ads. Look at this. Look at these. These are great. I love these. Here's another great one right here. Happy family in front of their beautiful new home. All right, we have tons and tons of images here, and it's about $1.40 to $1.50 to buy an image at this website. So what I like to do is, personally, guys, I'll tell you what I like to do is I like to take my images and I like to modify them. Okay, for example, let's head on over to PowerPoint. Here's what I do when I buy an image. Before I put it in my ad, I don't always do this, but I often do. So I head on over to PowerPoint and I move my text boxes like this. So then I go and I click to insert it. Let's say I wanted to use this one, for example. Okay, now this one's just a sample, as you can see, because it's got its watermark in the background. So this isn't an image I'm using in a live ad, but what I'll do is I'll save images and I'll take a look and see what they look like first before I buy them. But let's say I decided to use this one and I bought it. Then I would just insert it right here into PowerPoint, and then I drag and drop my text box. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring it to front. So now my text will show over it. And I pull my text box down to the right, to the left. Let's center that text down just a little bit more. There we go. So now my text is clear. And now I'll put a nice little message here. So let's just pretend that's the message that I'm going to use. I might shrink that a little bit, make it bold, make it stand out. And now what I have is I could take a snapshot of this using either Jing or PicPic. Okay, Jing, guys, is J-I-N-G. It's free software you can download on Google that allows you to highlight an image and turn it into a box. And it'll turn it into a snapshot for you. And this is how I create my ads that I use on Facebook, guys, is all I'm using is a $1.40 image that I bought off of 123RF, and then PowerPoint by adding my text, and then I take a snapshot of it. That's it. Look at how easy this was. So now I have text on the image itself. Pretty cool, isn't it? Very, very powerful, by the way. Very powerful. But let me throw something out there for you guys. If you're going to put text on your images, I want you to save this link right here. Facebook.com/ads/tools/text_overlay. I know that's a lot, but Facebook has a rule that if you upload an image, that image can only have up to 20% in text. So if more than 20% of your image is in text, they're going to turn down your ad. And this tool right here will scan your image and tell you if you meet their guidelines or not, if you want to start putting text on your images. All right, so a very powerful tool. It's free. And here's the link. I'm pausing just a little bit to let you guys write it down. Okay. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's see here. I see some questions coming over. I will get to those very, very shortly. All right, perfect. And I see some questions. Chad, would you make use of a home with a sold sign? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. And yes, I have. I've done that as well. So what I like to do is I like to rotate my ads, and we'll get to that here in just a moment. All right. So let me just stop right here for just a moment. Are you guys getting value out of this? Yay or nay? Let me hear some booms. Yes, no, maybes. Just want to make sure we're on the right track. All right, there we go. Good, good, good. All right, lots of booms. Perfect. Okay, guys, so again, here's what we need to do. We need to address a need, want, or pain. We need to identify common actions that signify interest, provide a clear benefit for taking action now, and provide a benefit your competition is not. All right, so let's go back here, and let's go back to the page right here. Let's see, is this our... Now, what I would do at this stage is once I find and upload the image that I'm happy with, okay, all I'm going to do is click the post button. Once I click this post button, which I'm not going to do because this is a live Facebook page for me, but if this were an ad that I was going to post, that's all I do is click the post button. And now I go back to my Facebook advertising page. Remember this? And now it would allow me to update and click this drop down and choose the post that I want to turn into an ad. So let's say that I want to use this one, for example. See, this one's got an image on it, so yeah, I would use this one. In fact, I've run this one as an ad before. Now I'm going to scroll down, and Facebook wants to know, okay, Chad, so I see the post that you want to advertise. You got clickable links in there. You got a good-looking image. You got a strong call to action, letting them know they can find out the value of their property. Now, who are you going to run this ad to? Well, I need an audience. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type out St. Louis, Missouri. And Facebook comes back to me and says, okay, Chad, you got 1,120,000 people that you could target in St. Louis. I'm going, holy cow, I know for a fact St. Louis doesn't even have that many people. So why is Facebook telling me this? Well, if you take a look up here, by default, Facebook is going to take your city and say plus 25 miles. So what you need to do is hover your cursor over this, run it to the right, and you see this little arrow that's pointing down? Click on it. And now you can change that because right now it's at St. Louis plus 25 miles. I can bump it down to St. Louis plus 10 miles. Now I'm down to 800,000 people. What if I just want to do St. Louis? Okay, now I'm down to 740,000 people. That's more like it. As odd as it sounds, guys, bigger is not better when you're running these types of ads. In fact, they can be counterproductive. You want a medium-sized audience, not a huge audience. Now, we could go into all the logistics of why that is, but I'm just asking you guys to trust me on this. Don't go for the million plus, 2 million, 3 million people. Drill down, get more focused, more specific, and your ads will cost you less. If you target too large of an area, you're going to inflate artificially the cost of your ads, and you'll be paying more than you have to. So minimize that. One way we can minimize this now is we can play with the age. See here, right now it's set to 13 and with no maximum. Let's say I bump this up to 25. Okay, now I'm at 540,000, but let's say I'm going with individuals who already own a home and are thinking of moving, so chances are they're probably a little older than 25. Let's go 27 or 28. I usually like to go somewhere around there when they've been in maybe their first home for a long enough time to where they're moving up. So about 28, and let's see, I could go to no limit, but I want to reduce my audience just a little bit, so I might go to like maybe, I don't know, 48. Okay, now I'm down to 320,000. I really like to be, the bare minimum is about 150,000 is the minimum audience. I find about 250,000 to about 400,000 to be my sweet spot. Now again, that's me. Your area may be slightly different, but just again, don't go too large on your audience. You will pay more. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but just trust me on that one, guys. I've run hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of ads with 6 figures worth of advertising costs attached to those over the years. So with that testing, we see repeatedly the medium-sized audiences are so focused and targeted that they almost always outproduce the larger audience. Okay? All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down, and what I want to do is I want to name this ad. Give it a name. This name is going to be seen by you and you only, but I want you to be specific here because you're going to end up running comparisons to your ads and trying to tweak and whatnot. You need to be able to identify your ad campaigns at a glance. Otherwise, your ad dashboard can get very, very convoluted very quickly. So I'm going to name this St. Louis Home Sellers January 2014. Okay? And per day, I might bump this up to about $8 to $10. And then here's where things get really interesting. By default, Facebook says, run my campaign continuously starting today. I'm going to say, no way. I want to run my campaign with a start and an end date. By default, Facebook is going to show your end date as being a month later. I want you to click on this little calendar and bump it back to the same day you're running the ad. I know that sounds weird, but here's what happens, guys. You're an unknown entity when you first run your ads. Facebook has no clue if this new ad is going to perform well or be an absolute bomb, okay? So what that means is when you run this ad, how does Facebook know they're going to make any money off of you? Well, they don't. And when you give them infinity amount of time, then they can make money off of you next week or the week after, so your ads get run a minimum amount of times. But when you hyper compress and tell Facebook, okay, you got a 4-hour span, you're guaranteed to get $10. I'm willing to pay $10, but you're going to have to show the heck out of my ad for the next 4 hours. What that does is it accelerates the show rate of your ad. So instead of waiting days, weeks, and months to get results, you almost always get results the exact same day. All right, because Facebook knows, oh crap, we got $10 to spend and we got 4 hours to earn it in. Let's show this ad. Boom, 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 boom. Next thing you know, you're getting shown to thousands and thousands of people very rapidly. So I want you to change that to a start and end date. Now, this does not mean that once you reach your end time that your ad is done forever. Facebook will automatically turn it off, yes, but you just go back in and just go, okay, now I'm giving you another day to run it. And you do this one at a time. All right, so each time it ends, you choose if you want to extend it or not. So you never lose the ad. You just give Facebook set periods of time to run that ad in, and you'll find that those ads are shown at a hyper-accelerated rate. You have an opportunity here to do bidding as what we call cost per impression, or you can bid for clicks. All right, you can do either, guys. And for me, I usually start out by bidding for clicks until I see that my ad is performing. So when I'm bidding for clicks, Facebook will come back and say, okay, your range here is anywhere from 14 cents to 31 cents a click. So I come down here and I say, okay, I'm bidding, boom, 50 cents a click. Right? I want to show Facebook that I'm serious. Now, just because you're bidding 50 cents a click, guys, doesn't mean you're going to pay 50 cents a click. If your ad performs well, your cost keeps going down, not up. Let me repeat that. As your ad performs well, your cost goes down, not up. The higher click-through ratio and the more people that engage with your ad, Facebook is going, wow, this guy's really performing. So they start showing it more and more and more. And you're winning these bids at lower and lower costs. That's the way it works. So bid higher initially to show Facebook that you're serious. And then after a couple of clicks, when Facebook sees you have a high CTR rate, which is simply all that means is your click-through rate, how many people are clicking versus how many people are viewing, your cost goes down. I pay on average somewhere around 30 to 32 cents a click on real estate style ads, and then if I can get hyper-focused on a very niche product like VA or USDA, I often pay very little over 15 to 20 cents a click for the really focused ads. So you could get 10 people that are interested enough to click and go to your website raising their hand saying, yeah, I'm interested, and you paid about $1 something for that, guys. This is cheap advertising here. All right, let's see what questions we have popping up over here. All right, I'm seeing lots and lots of booms. Okay, boom, boom, boom with 5 exclamation. All right, awesome, guys. Okay, good stuff. Is this making sense? What I just explained here, can you guys let me know, anybody, that this does not make sense to? Do I need to repeat that? I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. There's a lot of you on this call. Sometimes I talk very quickly, and as you can tell, I like to talk. I just want to make sure that I'm explaining things very, very clearly because this is very, very critical. These may seem like small little points that I'm making here, folks, but these small little points mean the difference between the loan officer that goes out and drops $400, $500, $600 for the month on ads and ends up with 1 or 2 leads versus the guy that spends $250 or $300 for the month and walks away with 30 or 40 leads. Big, big difference. But most folks have not taken the time to learn this because there's very few individuals teaching this. It's usually earned by trial and error only after you've spent thousands and thousands of dollars and months of tweaking and testing and tweaking and testing. So I'm giving this information to you up front to make sure that you guys get this right out of the gate. Let's see. Trying to get it all in my head. Okay, so I do see some questions about squeeze pages. I will be talking about that in just a moment. Okay, Chad, how many times do you monitor your bid per click? I log into my Facebook page or to my ads dashboard on Facebook about 2 to 3 times a day. Now, you may find this difficult to believe, guys, but to run the entire campaign on an average week is about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours for the entire week to run this campaign. Because what I'm usually doing is a 3 to 4 hour segment of running an ad is usually enough for the entire day. Usually I'll get anywhere from about 30 to 40 clicks in that period of time. And out of that, I'll usually capture about 2 to 3 good solid leads that filled out name, email, phone number, and 8 fields of data. All right, 3 to 4 hours. And then I turn it off. And then I don't run it again until maybe the next day or the day after. It depends on how many leads. Do I want 5 leads this week? Do I want 10? Do I want 15? Do I want 20? How many realtors do I want to make happy this week? How many leaders or realtors do I want appointments with? And when you notice that you're running a really great ad, guys, when you see an ad performing really well, if you want to drive your costs down even further, what you do is you come down here and you click this little checkbox here to right here. First, you switch back to bid for page and post engagement instead of for clicks, or even bid for impressions. And see what happens here is you're paying not for clicks, but for how many thousand people actually see your ad. And I'm paying 17 cents for that. When I have a high-performing ad, usually I can get the same, what I would normally spend about $10 for, I can get away with spending about $2 for when I'm paying for impressions. Because if I see that, hey, it took 3,000 impressions and I got 12 clicks off of that and I'm paying 35 to 40 cents a click, then I just spent somewhere around $4 to $4.50 when I could have paid 17 cents to show to those same 3,000 people. At that point, I would have been out, what, 34, 44, 51 cents? So I could have paid basically 51 cents by paying for impressions. Again, the difference is Facebook will say, hey, would you like me to charge you based off of how many 1,000 people see your ad? So when I see an ad is performing very well, I'll go in and I'll pause that after a day or two, and I'll clone that ad, create the exact same ad, and this time choose to run it based off of impressions. Make sense? So you can actually drive your costs to ridiculously, ridiculously low levels. Okay, so I'm hoping you guys are starting to see just how powerful and how cheap it can be to generate leads once you really get the hang of this. And unfortunately, most loan officers get scared away by this. And it is intimidating. Once you start paying for performance and paying for clicks and paying for impressions and going, you know what, there's no guarantees here, that can be scary. But these costs here are so much lower than if you did the same thing and took a risk on a billboard, paying $1,500 a month for that. No guarantees there. Or radio ads, television ads. This here, you can actually choose to pay for performance. Start with the clicks. When you see you have performance, switch over to impressions, and now your costs go down exponentially to where you're barely spending money. All right. Awesome, awesome. Okay, guys, Chad, what makes an impression? An impression is when somebody logs into their Facebook and your ad is showing up right there in their feed. Okay, now, are you guys familiar with what the Facebook feed is? Does anybody need me to expand on that? Your Facebook feed, guys, is, let me go to my Facebook page. Okay, this is your Facebook feed. Right here, when somebody's logged into their personal Facebook account and they're scrolling through all their stuff, and your ad, like right here, see where it says sponsored? This is an advertisement. Zillow paid to be here. All right, your ad will be showing up in someone's feed. That counts as an impression. When I'm scrolling through here and boom, this ad's showing up, I just cost Zillow probably a quarter of a penny here. Or an eighth of a penny, or whatever rate they're at. Okay, so that's what an impression is. Okay, let's get to some specifics here. I have some very, very important information for you guys on these ads. Give me just a moment. Let me pop up my page here. Okay, here's the important links. Right here, guys, if you have not written this down yet, this is the Facebook link for the text overlay. That's where Facebook will scan your image and tell you if it's okay, if it meets their guidelines as far as 20% or not. I also want you to know that the ideal pixel range, or the ideal size of an image on Facebook, is roughly 600 pixels in width. 600 pixels. So a lot of people ask me, okay, well, how do I know what a pixel is? Well, let me show you guys how to find out how large your image is. I'll show you two ways to do this, okay? Let's open up an image in, let's open this one here. I'm going to open an image in Microsoft Paint. Okay, so I just opened up a cool picture of Darth Vader driving an aerial atom. Okay, pictures don't get much more cool than that. But I'm in Microsoft Paint. And if I come over here where it says resize, and I click this, you'll see here Microsoft Paint, right now it's showing me my image based off of percentage. But if I click this little box here, it shows what my image is in pixels. So right now my image is 800 pixels wide and 534 pixels tall. On Facebook, it's ideal when you're setting up an ad to appear in the newsfeed to be 600 pixels wide. Facebook will automatically resize, but it's that ratio of 600 pixels. That's the perfect size. So if you want to make sure that nothing is getting cut off on the width of your image, you want to set it up to be 600 pixels. So I'll turn around and I'll save this image to my computer now, knowing that I have the perfect width, 600 pixels. All right, maybe I'll just go ahead and run an ad with this aerial atom invader, huh? Okay, so let's also talk about one other way to find out. One other way to find out here is when you go to your computer itself, when you go to your pictures folder, you can actually click on an image and even right-click on it, and you can pull up the data on this particular image or any of the images. But you can see here where when I clicked on this, see where it's showing the dimensions down here at the bottom. Now, again, depending on which version of Windows, I'm on an older version here, so mine probably shows a little bit differently than yours, but you can see you can look up the dimensions on any of these images. So if I really needed to, I could just click on Properties, for an image and go into my details and see that this image is 300 pixels by 282 pixels and so forth. So if you have an image saved to your computer, you can just right-click on it, go to your properties, or if you're using the same version of Windows as I am, you can see it automatically shows down at the bottom of your pictures folder. All right? So that's 2 ways to find out your pixels. Make sense? All right, perfect, 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 perfect. Okay, for your height, I recommend no higher than 400 pixels. All right, roughly about 400 pixels. Right, perfect, guys. Now let's talk about landing pages. Landing pages. Landing pages. You got to send the lead somewhere, right? Where are you going to send them to? Well, I'm going to pull up something here. Give me just a moment here, folks. I got to pull up some samples for you. I'm going to show you the very same landing page that I used to generate today's leads. And don't worry, guys, I haven't forgotten about you. I'm going to give out some leads here. Some of you guys are going to walk away with some leads here. All right, watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and boom, there it is. All right, here is the landing page that I ran for today's campaign. I turned it on yesterday afternoon. Took about 4 to 5 hours to be approved, so they started running very late last night, very early this morning, and had the first lead come in roughly around 5 a.m. this morning. And they've been coming in ever since. And I shut them off I shut off all but one of them right before today's call. But here we go. Free house value. It only takes a moment, nothing to buy. What is the point of that text? Well, what we want to start doing is appealing to these folks on a subconscious level that we're mitigating the risk. There is no risk here, because what is the constant fear when somebody clicks on something? They're always asking, well, what's the catch? When's the other shoe going to drop? So I want to keep reminding them so that they don't just up and leave the landing page, because I paid to get them here. So I want to make the most of it. So it only takes a moment, nothing to buy. I keep reassuring them. You can see here where I keep reminding them that it is free, that it is free. Why pay when you don't have to? No charge. So it's 3 times on a page with less than 100 words where I remind them it's free. Oh, wait, here we go. Again, 4 times. There's a reason for that, because they're looking for the other shoe to drop. All right, find out what your California home is really worth. Now, obviously, I also ran it in Texas, so find out what your Texas home is really worth. I also ran one in Utah. Find out what your Utah home is really worth, and so forth. Okay, did you know you can get access to the same information, no charge? Why pay when you don't have to? Simply complete the short form to the right, complete value estimate, estimated listing price, doesn't cost a penny. That's 5 times I've reminded them now. There you go, guys. That is the landing page. Okay, so now what we're going to do is let's take a look at another example. Give me just a moment here. I'm pulling up my screenshots. 6 attachments, and I'm opening them all right now. Okay, now here's the variation that I run side by side. Now this one here is, let me scroll up. Okay, I'm zooming in so you guys can see this one. This is just a screenshot. Okay, so how much is your home worth? Find out exactly what your home is worth today. Name, email, phone number, boom. Find out now. Fast, easy, free. Here's how it works. Enter your email in the form above. Tell us about your current home and condition. We handle all the research and send your home value estimate in less than 24 hours. Congratulations, you're done. So again, this is just a screenshot of the template that I use. I customize it for every city. That's why you see I have just sample text here, because I change it depending on what city and what demographic I'm going after. So I'll put my actual phone number up here. Believe it or not, folks, people do call. Not everybody calls, but every now and again, boom, your phone rings and somebody calling from your landing page. Those are just the icing on the cake. But as you can see, quick, simple, call to action, 2 lead capture forms on the same page, name, email, phone number. Once I capture that, I redirect them to a thank you page at which I ask them, okay, guys, now in order to give you a valuation for your property, I need to ask you a couple more questions because I need to know more about the home itself. So can you tell me, when are you planning on moving? Estimated square footage, what's the address of the home? Boom, now I got their address too, so I can mail them something if I want. I collect their email address, so I'm going to email them something. I got their phone number, so I'm going to call them. When are you thinking about moving? What type of home is it? What area are you thinking of moving to? So I'll collect 8 fields of data. Very powerful, guys. Now, yes, I create my own landing pages, guys. Okay, so yeah, we create our own landing pages here. There are a lot of landing page creation softwares out there and whatnot, but I like to do my own just because I know that you know what styles and design, and that I have control over everything. Although there are some cool softwares that I do use when I'm in a hurry as well, and we'll talk about that here shortly as well. Okay. But ultimately, guys, here are your guidelines for a landing page. Write these down. Number 1, your landing page needs to be fast loading. Slow loading landing pages. I've seen some loan officers' pages take 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds to open. That's too long. Think about it. If it's taking that long to open on a fast connection on a desktop, how long is it taking to open on a mobile device? It's crazy. It's going to take them 18, 20 seconds. They're going to leave. They're not going to wait around for that. They're going to go, I'll just go somewhere else. Okay, you need to keep it short. I've seen too many landing pages and squeeze pages that are way too wordy, guys. Keep them short. They don't have time to read everything. They're just going to scan. So I like to do bullet points. If you're doing bullet points, which I strongly urge that you do, put 3 to 5 bullets, and that's it. Leave it at that. And then finally, do indeed create a thank you page. A thank you page where you ask additional questions. So that way you can ask minimal questions up front, because we've tested it. When I ask all the questions up front on one page, I get less of a result than what if I just ask for name, email, and phone, and then redirect them to a thank you page and go, oh, wait, before you go, I need to collect this additional data so that I can give you your house value. And then they've already committed to it, so they go, oh, okay, fine, and they go ahead and fill it out. You see the psychology at work there? You make it easy, ease them into it. Risk mitigation. But now, even if they don't fill out the second page, if nothing else, what did I ask for? The things that are most important to me: name, email, and phone number. So I have a means of following up with them. So even if they don't fill out the second page, I can call them up and ask them those questions personally. All right? I also want to point out a couple of things, and we're going to move on here to what to do after you capture your leads, and then I'm going to show you guys the leads, and don't worry, we are going to give out the leads here very shortly, but I want to point out, guys, on your ads and on your landing pages, this is huge advice here. This is the ultimate. This is what causes success versus failure, success versus failure. It is the individuals that pay attention to these fine details. For example, on my landing page, you'll notice that I often use 2 differing colors, okay, in my titles. Why do you think I do that, guys? Why do you think I use 2 different colors? Okay, for example, here, look at this. If this was in all black, how would you read this? You'd probably read it, no more wimpy marketing. But when I put it in red that contrasts with the black text, how do you read it? It more than stands out. You give it emphasis as you read it. You can control the way and the emotion and the emphasis that people put on your text, on your landing pages, and on your ads based on some simple, what seemingly wimpy little change like this. Instead of no more wimpy marketing, it's no more wimpy marketing. Get it? So making these little changes and tweaks, just changing and making one word in bold and a different color boosted my leads captured by 17% on a campaign that I ran last month. 17% increase by making this little change. Okay. Also, capitalizing a single word in my headline gave me a 9% boost on another campaign. Underlining a particular word that I wanted for emphasis gave me a 13% boost on a campaign that I ran for loan officers in October. So let's add that up. 17% increase, 9% increase, 13% increase. You add all that together, what do you get? a whole lot more income coming your way, right? Another thing is that with my landing pages, what I do is what I like to call my less is more stage. And that's when I think that I'm done with my landing page. I'm actually not. When I first write something, what I do is I go back through and I reread it and I find all of the words that I can remove and the text still maintains its meaning. Let me give you an example. Here's a sentence. Loan officers, learn how you are going to capture more leads. Learn how you are going to capture more leads. Well, couldn't I just come back in and say, loan officers, learn how to capture more leads? Which flows better? Learn how to capture more leads. Why? Because it's less words, less unnecessary and redundant copy. So go through and find the redundant text in your landing page. You're saying the same thing with fewer words. And anytime you can say more with less, you will almost always get better results. Okay, so write that one down. That's something that we often forget to do. We read something and it sounds great, but what we haven't done is said, hey, could I have said the same thing with fewer words? And if the answer is yes, do it, because it will make a difference. All right, so that's one big giant boom for you guys there. That's one that most people don't learn for a very long period of time, until they just test, and they get better at writing, but you're learning it right now. So I recommend you do it. Always edit your verbiage. Okay, let's talk about what you do after you capture the lead. After you capture the lead, after somebody fills this out, what do we do with them? What are we doing with them? All right, let's get back to my page here. There we go. Okay, here's my process, and this is what I was talking about earlier on. Most loan officers just haven't created a sales funnel for themselves. Okay, they haven't created a sales funnel, and that's a shame, because this is an example of a very, very basic sales funnel, but it's still a funnel nonetheless. Is the first thing that I want you to do is when you capture a lead, call them and confirm the information that you've captured. Okay, what are you saying to them? Often when I call them, oh, hey, this is Chad Weber calling. I'm from St. Louis Mortgages. Now, I'm the person that sponsored the free home valuation service page that you just visited and filled out. Thank you very much for your request. Now, I just wanted to verify some of this data that I collected. See, I work with some of the finest real estate offices in the St. Louis area, and I'm going to be working hand in hand with them to come to an accurate estimate of your home's true worth. So would you mind if I just ask you a couple of questions to make certain that we have accurate information before I start putting all these guys to work and finding out the value of your home? Okay, great. I just have 5 questions for you. And then, boom, I'll go through and I'll ask them the questions that are important to me and important to the realtor. I'm going to immediately send them a thank you email with a list of what their expectations can be. In other words, I'm going to let them know, hey, here's the timeline to learning the value of your property. Here's what's happening now. So I'm talking to the local realtors that have access to the data and information that we need to come up with an estimated property valuation. Blah, blah, blah. That can take anywhere from, 12 to 24 hours. Then we're going to do this. Then we're going to do that. And I'll give them a timeline of when they should hear back from me versus when they should hear back from the realtor. While I have them on the line, I'm also going to ask for their permission to send them the occasional article or newsletter that can help them when they are at the point where they're ready to start looking at new homes. Would you mind if I sent you, these aren't salesy literature, it's just newsletters with helpful tips and guidelines. So in other words, I'm getting their permission to market to them and drip feed. All right, so now I'm no longer a spammer. I'm a known entity. I have their permission. I'm going to forward the lead to the realtor. I'm going to send weekly recaps to the realtors of all the leads that I sent them. Oh, hey there, Chrissy Roberts. This week, congratulations. Looks like you got 7 leads this week in your area. And here's a list of the names of the individuals you should have received. Here's a list of their emails and their phone numbers. And here's a checklist of the individuals that I've spoken to and the latest updates. And I send them status updates. Whenever the leads do something that moves them forward in my sales funnel, I let the agent know as well. Why? Because I want that agent to start thinking of me as their partner. Isn't that what you want? High-performance realtors sending you referrals, treating you like their partner, saying, hey, I got a lead. Here's your lead. Handing you lay-down deals that have already been sold. I'm working with you. This is how you do it, folks, by high touch points, staying in touch with those agents on a weekly basis. Now you have an excuse to do it without being annoying, because they are not annoyed when you send them a status update of all these free leads that they just got. That's not annoying at all. That's awesome. They're going, wow, this person's thorough. Wow, seven buyer's leads? Wow, where are you getting all these? Oh, a couple listing leads too? Where'd you get those? Chances are you might be generating leads at a faster pace than they are, at which point now they're not just impressed, they're blown away. So can I ask the question, guys, do you see the value in how this happens and what this brings to the table, what you're now bringing to the table for these folks? And by the way, guys, the property valuations are coming from the realtors. See, I contact the realtors and go, hey, this is Chad Weber calling from St. Louis Mortgages. You know what? I have a very interesting problem. I don't know if you hear this a lot from other loan officers, but I have too many leads coming in. Do you think you could help me out? I have these people. Here's what I do is I have purchase leads coming in, individuals that are soon going to be in the market to buy a new home. Okay, so they're not there just yet, but they will be within the next 30 to 45 days. And a lot of them are looking to find out, as they dip their toe in the water, how much their existing homes are worth. Would you be willing to be the agent that I refer them to that gives them an estimated value of their property? Oh, you would? Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. You're helping me out here so much. Now, here's expectations as to how many leads I have coming in on a typical week. You know, can you handle that volume? Okay, can you commit to getting answers back in 24 to 48 hours? We want to hit these people while they're hot. We don't want them to cool down, so I need commitment on 24 to 48 hours. Now, do you think agents are going to be bending over backwards to help you? You've turned the tables here, so to speak. All right, and thanks for all the big booms there, guys. All right, so this is what I call a sales funnel. This is what I call focus. This is what I call detailed, guys. Now you know you have a step-by-step post lead capture. Okay, first I call and confirm, then I email. Don't forget to ask for permission. Forward the lead to the realtor. Send weekly recaps every Friday. You know what? Fridays are when I send my weekly recaps. Send a status update whenever a lead moves forward in the sales funnel so the agent knows how close they are to needing to work with this prospect and maybe even place a phone call themselves. See, if you double team the prospect where you're calling in occasionally and the agent's calling in occasionally, now you're doubling your chances that one of you guys is going to develop a great rapport with this person and that they're going to remember at least one of you. Because let's say they forget you because you're the loan officer, which that happens a lot, right? Because most people do the process backwards. They go to the realtor first when they should be going to the loan officer, but that's not how it works in reality, right? So you want to be in good with this agent, because they're probably going to remember the agent and work with him or her. So you want that agent bringing that lead back to you going, hey, well, have you talked to Chad yet? Because before I start showing you these $500,000 homes, I want to make sure, you know, that you have a pre-approval and that you know how much home you can afford. You know, has anyone done a credit pull for, okay, you really need to talk to Chad. Here's his phone number, here's his email, and I'd like for you to chat with him today before we go out and see that property. Great. Now they're calling you. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I see a high five from Steve and Ed and let's see, Florida there. All right, awesome, awesome. How you doing, Steve? Give me just a moment here, folks. All right, let's go over to my inbox. Give me just a moment here, folks. I'm going to open up my emails, All right, this is my inbox. Yeah, I know. I got 1,237 emails waiting to be read. Okay, now I told you guys that I was getting a lot of emails. Check this out. Even today, I'm still getting emails from loan officers telling me what city to originate in. I sent out an email yesterday telling you I read them all, and I did up until 8 o'clock this morning, so I have some for today. But you can see here, I got a lot of emails from you folks. That's a lot of requests coming in for specific cities. Let's see, I can even go all the way back to page 11. I got 42 pages of this, guys. 42 pages is what I ended up with of loan officers saying, hey, originate leads in this city or that city and so forth and so forth. But you can see I read them all but the new ones because I didn't have time today because preparing for the webinar. But the bottom line is, guys, that yes, I know that there are a lot of you guys in a lot of different cities, and originally we were just going to originate in a single city, but I decided, hey, you know what, it'd be really cool to originate a couple leads in some big cities and then a couple leads in some smaller cities as well, because a lot of folks were saying, well, yeah, we know you can originate in big cities, but what about the small cities? So I wanted to show you guys and give you an example that, yes, indeed, you can generate leads no matter where you're at. Now, I'm not saying or promising a specific volume by any means. Okay, I can't promise you that. But what I can tell you is that I originate all over the U.S. for a lot of companies and a lot of loan officers, and the leads are out there. Some cities we do 50 all the way to 100 plus leads a month. Some we only do 25 to 30 a month. But the business is there. And as I showed you, using Facebook ads platform, you can target based off of surrounding regions. So if you're in a small dinky city, well, choose the city plus 10 miles or plus 25 miles. You can even go plus 50 miles if you have to get the volume of folks that you need to generate the volume that you need. So what we did is right now I have 6 leads to give out. We actually generated 8, but 2 of them had bad phone numbers with them, so I'm not going to give you guys junk, okay? So we generated 8 in about a 12-hour time span. 8 leads, guys. 6 of those good, workable, where we have full-blown data. Okay, so let's see. This one here, no writing down phone numbers here, guys. Okay, so we got Texas here. Okay, we got Georgia here. Okay, we got Utah, Draper, Utah here. Okay, now we got Atlanta, Georgia here. And then I got Sunnyvale, California here. And then I have another San Antonio, Texas, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give these out, and you guys are welcome to call, email, do whatever you want with the lead, work it, and just make sure you make a good impression, keep them happy, and share them with your realtors. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at some random names here, okay? So I have individuals in San Antonio, Texas. Okay, so here's how I'm going to give these out. I'm going to do trivia. See who's paying attention. So the first lead I'm going to give out is in Texas. So all you Texas folks, the first person to get back with me in the chat box with the right answer gets this lead. And this first one is in San Antonio. Okay. And let's see. I need a good question. I'm going to go back to... Okay, here's a question for you. We talked about Facebook ads. Pay close attention. We talked about running Facebook ads. We talked about impressions. We talked about engagements. And then we talked about cost per click. Which type of ad do you run first? What type of ad did I recommend that you run first? Okay, and we're getting floods and floods of answers here. Let's see the first one, and looks like Shirley. Shirley was the first back. Yes, you got it, cost per click. So Shirley Cole, C-O-L-E, Shirley Cole with the first answer. You got the first lead in San Antonio, Texas. All right, congratulations. Don't worry, we have another one in Texas, guys. Okay, the next is in Sunnyvale, California. Sunnyvale, California. All right, guys, I know a ton of you guys. I think we got over 200 or 300 requests for generating leads in California. So I'm going to give out Sunnyvale, California. Those in that area, prepare. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question about images. What size image, width, and height do you run your Facebook ads? Facebook image ads. What size in pixels? Give it to me in pixels. All right, I'm seeing answer. Okay, holy cow. Okay, I think we got about 60 answers there in about 10 seconds. Let me scroll. Make sure I'm getting you guys here. Okay, Lee, I don't know how to pronounce the last name. Lee Emro in California. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, let me know. Lee Emro got the first one. 600 pixels by 400 pixels. Congratulations, Lee. And guys, I got your emails, okay? But please go ahead and email me anyways, cweber@averagejoelo, in order for me to forward these leads onto you. I do have your emails, but if you could save me a lot of that digging, and please email cweber@averagejoelo, and I'll get the lead out to you today. Next one, we got another one in Texas. All right, this one is also in San Antonio. Okay, so what? I asked an image ad, and I asked, okay, there we go. So I'm looking for some questions here, guys, to make sure everybody's paying attention. Okay, here we go. This is going to be another image-based question. What percentage of text does Facebook allow you to have on your Facebook ad images? What percentage of text does Facebook allow you to have on your ad images? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we got about 30 responses there, right there. Thomas, is that Muron or Muron? Thomas Muron in Texas. Okay, awesome. Congratulations, Thomas. And you guys are like literally within microseconds of each other. So don't feel bad if you didn't get the first one. Okay, so you guys are all very, very quick. So congratulations, so many of you guys paying attention. Before I ask the next question, let me pull something up here really, really quick here. This is very important, guys. Now, there is nothing for you to buy on today's call. Okay? But I do have an ulterior motive, guys. I'm hosting free strategy sessions. These strategy sessions basically last about 20 to 30 minutes. And what this is a one-on-one phone call between you and I. Now, I'm going to talk to you about your biggest needs and challenges. You're going to tell me about your biggest needs and challenges. Now, I do one-on-one coaching for those of you that want to make a huge impact. You cannot buy this coaching just off of this call. See, I only do 12 loan officers for the entire month. Originally, I was going to do 10, but I was able to squeeze in 2 additional. So a total of 12 loan officers for the month, and that's it. I accept only 1 out of 4 applicants. So the best way to get to know who should be coached and who's not quite ready for it yet is to do our one-on-one strategy sessions. But in the meantime, it allows you to get your big questions answered and talk about your challenges. And it's just overall, it's a business building opportunity. Okay, but just to be fair here, folks, because I am very limited on time, this is only for loan officers who are committed to taking action. You're decisive and ready to make a decision. Okay, this is for loan officers who want results now. I'm more than happy to chat with you, but I want to chat with those folks who are looking to take this to the next level and say, hey, you know what? I'm willing to invest in myself. It's not cheap, guys. If you're looking for something that's going to cost you $100 or $200, that's not the type of coaching this is. This is serious coaching for ultra fast results, and I guarantee you will capture leads, and I will coach you until you do. Here's how you get the strategy sessions, guys. Go to this link right here, mortgagemarketingcoaching.com. Again, that's www.mortgagemarketingcoaching.com. Don't worry, I'm going to get to the leads here in just a moment. So it's mortgagemarketingcoaching.com, and you can request your strategy session. But we have roughly 700 loan officers on this call, so I recommend that you head over there right away. Okay, this is a heck of an opportunity. We do know how to generate leads. It's what I do professionally, guys, for many, many industries. But as you can see, I ask a lot of questions for a strategy session because I need to know more about your challenges. I need to know more about your goals. I can't help you without that information. And this is an example of the types of questions you'll be answering for that strategy session. But all you got to do is go to mortgagemarketingcoaching.com and request your strategy session. And then from there, we will find out if coaching is a good fit for you. If it is, fantastic, fantastic, congratulations. I'm looking forward to coaching you, but it's not for everyone. But perhaps I can make some recommendations that will still boost and benefit your business in the meantime. So that's mortgagemarketingcoaching.com. And my schedule fills up ultra quickly. You guys know how busy I am. So I do a lot of stuff. So I recommend that you go over there right away and make your request. All right, guys? Awesome. Okay, so now the next lead. I'm going to give you guys a couple more seconds to head over to that website because I strongly recommend you take advantage of it while you can, because I will be putting a stop to those strategy sessions here probably very quickly just due to time commitment. Usually we're booked about a week to 10 days in advance. Okay, after today we'll probably be booked for a whole month. So if you'd like a strategy session and the possibility to be coached by me personally, this is not group coaching, this is one-on-one where I'm going to help you. A lot of you guys asking about landing pages. Well, what if I gave you the exact landing pages that I use to generate leads? That's what comes with my coaching, is I give you the landing pages. I give you the technology to where you can create more and different variations. And we release new landing pages. And I tell you, as I try new strategies and new pages, I give you those same new strategies and pages. Nothing left to chance. It's literally one-on-one, hand-holding. Let's go out and capture some leads together. If that sounds good to you guys, let's stop playing around little leagues and move, boom, let's go straight to the big leads. This is how you do it, mortgagemarketingcoaching.com. All right, perfect. Now, let's talk about the next lead here. Give me just a second here, folks. I'm going to pull that lead up, see what city we're looking at now. Let's see, we have done Sunnyvale. We've done 2 in Texas. Let's see, looks like I have one in Atlanta. Okay, we have one in Atlanta. Okay, so all you Atlanta people, listen up, listen up. All you Atlanta people, giving you a moment here. Let's think of a good question. Okay, so let's see here. All right, what are the 3 things? What are the 3 things that your offer must address to new prospects? Okay, this is one of the first things we talked about in today's webinar. What are the 3 things that you must touch on? At least one of these 3 things. Okay, I know this is a bit of a longer question here. Okay, here we come, here we come. Right, 1, 2. Okay, somebody's got 2 of them already. Okay, final one, final one. And boom, there we go, there we go. Cindy Shreves. Cindy Shreves in Georgia. First to get it, Cindy Shreves. Okay, so we talked about pain. We talked about concerns. Let's pull up that page. Yeah, send me an email, Cindy. That would be awesome. cweber@averagejoelo.com. averagejoelo.com. So here we go. A need, a want, or pain must address at least one of these 3. So a lot of you guys got it. A lot of you guys got it. But Cindy got it first. So, okay, so that's in Atlanta, Georgia, Cindy Shreves. Now we have one in Utah. Now we have one in Utah. Let's go to that lead. Let me pull up that lead. I believe it was something like Draper, Utah. I don't recall the name of the city. Let me pull it up so you guys know if you're in the area. Should be right about here. Yeah, Draper, D-R-A-P-E-R, Utah. Draper, Utah. Okay, so that's 84020. Okay. All right. So Draper, Utah, all you Utah folks, here we come. Here comes a question. Let's see. Let's come up with a good one here. All right. What are the first 2 things you do after capturing a lead? What are the first 2 things that you do after capturing a lead? All our Utah folks. Okay, boom. There we go. All right, Jonathan Pearson. Jonathan Pearson. So call the lead, follow up, and send a thank you email. Perfect. Okay, perfect. So Jonathan Pearson. Okay, I got one more lead. And this one is also in Sunnyvale. Sunnyvale was the city we were targeting in California. So all you California folks, you got another opportunity. If you didn't get the first one, here is another one. Listen up, listen up. Okay, let's see. We are going to say, I'm coming up with a question here, folks, because we've covered a lot. Okay, give me 2 of the primary rules for setting up your Facebook fan page. I told you one thing that you should absolutely do and one thing that you should not do. 2 rules for setting up your Facebook fan page. Okay, boom. Okay, somebody's got one. Somebody's got one. And okay, there we go. That was fast. Okay, you got both of them. Adrian, I believe that's pronounced Adrian. Adrian Richards in California. Adrian Richards. So do not sell and make the title clear. So make the name of your page very clear and do not distract with sales pitches. Congratulations. Okay, so Adrian Richards, Cindy Shrees, Jonathan Pearson, Thomas Muron, Lee Imro, and Shirley Cole. So that's Texas, California, Texas, Utah, Georgia, and California. 6 leads generated, guys. I want to show you how to do the exact same thing. Okay? I want to show you guys how to do the exact same thing. My strong recommendation is head on over to mortgagemarketingcoaching.com and request your strategy session. I can't wait to chat with you guys. You guys are sharp. Lots and lots of competition here. If you didn't capture a lead, or if you didn't get one of the lead handouts today, a lot of you guys were ultra close within microseconds. But let's talk about how you can start generating your leads for a very, very low cost. MortgageMarketingCoaching.com. I hope you guys learned a lot here today. My biggest hope is that you take action. Take action on what you learned. You now know more about Facebook ads platform than 95, probably even more % of your competition. I saw some of you guys asking some really sophisticated questions. I saw questions about custom audiences and just really advanced features of the Facebook ads platform that most folks don't know about. So you guys are obviously very well informed and would love to help you take it to the next level. And also, I do see some questions over here. Let's see. I'm going to try to scroll through here. Yeah, and just a reminder, guys, mortgagemarketingcoaching.com, not coach, but coaching.com, that ING at the end. All right. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to get a replay out there for you, and all the links that I talked about in today's session, I will get put together and sent out in an email. So keep your eyes open for an email from me, and I'll get you the links just in case you didn't get to write them down. And once again, I would like to thank all of you for joining us this afternoon. I hope that you got plenty of booms out of today. The replay will probably be available in about 24 to 48 hours, okay? Let's see. I do see one big question. Chad, do we rely on the realtor to evaluate the value of the house? Yes, yes. You want to talk to the realtor? That's actually your foot in the door, folks. When you're talking to the realtors, just let them know, hey, you know what? I'm getting flooded with leads coming in over here, and the way I'm generating these leads is I'm talking to them about the importance of finding out how much their home is worth before they put it on the market. Would you be willing to work with several of these leads every single week? And would you be able to get those evaluations over in 24 to 48 hours? Because I have a flood of leads coming over. I'd be more than happy to work with you and share them with you. But I need to know that these can be done in a timely fashion so we can strike while the iron's hot. Sit down, chat with them. You don't have to give away your entire strategy, but maybe kind of hint at a couple of the things that you're doing to intrigue them and form that bond. That's what's going to tie you in with that realtor, folks. You're training them subconsciously to view you as a resource and as a team member. When you guys start working leads together, it's only a matter of time before you become their go-to person for referring all of their referrals to as well. The law of reciprocity, hard to beat. All right, guys, awesome, some wonderful questions, and I can't wait for these strategy sessions and chat with you, answer your questions, and help you generate leads and take it to the next level, folks. Make it a great one. I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.